Surveillance footage captures a merciless shooting at the height of the lunch hour that took the life of Edward Scrubby Soldano and sent students scattering. And a Cotton man alleges cops shot him unjustly while looking for his brother. We'll speak with his attorney. Also, will Belize lose its Cuban medical brigade? We asked the Prime Minister what GOB plans to do. Plus, can Belize protect 30% of its marine space by 2023? We'll take you to the Ecolens Summit to find out. We've got details of these and all the stories in our newscast for tonight, Thursday, March 5th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet, with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Rotavirus is a leading cause of severe watery diarrhea and vomiting in young children. It can lead to dangerous dehydration and hospital visits. The good news? The rotavirus vaccine is now available countrywide. It is given in drops at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child. Visit your nearest health clinic today.
This fight over nationalizing control of telecommunications, the government there seems to want to be an authoritarian government.
Washington is watching, and Belize is becoming a red flag.
For a long time, they were under the radar. They could get away with it.
The Prime Minister and his chairman thought this would go under the radar, but they caught the attention of the White House.
And you saw it in the seriousness of President Trump's national security strategy. They're willing to be aggressive and do whatever they can against these individuals who are taking these actions.
Is a payout for the Prime Minister's family worth American intervention in Belize? They are playing a dangerous game with our country's future, and we are the ones to pay the price. Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
A safer Belize begins with all of us, and the Belize Police Department is taking bold steps to build that future together. The new 2025-2029 Crime Control and Crime Prevention Strategy is transforming policing from the ground up, reforming practices, rebuilding trust, and strengthening accountability. With investments in modern technology, upgraded infrastructure, and smart data-driven tools, officers will respond faster, work smarter, and endeavor to keep communities safer. This plan puts community partnership at its core. It will require more engagement, result in more transparency, and introduce new programs that support our youth, prevent violence, and promote second chances. From fighting gang violence and illegal firearms to confronting emerging threats like cybercrime, the BPD is building stronger, smarter, more specialized teams to protect every Belizean. And with enhanced training and leadership development, our officers are better prepared than ever to serve with integrity and professionalism. The Belize Police Department is rebuilding, reforming, and renewing its commitment to you. Together, we can create a safer, stronger Belize.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Shots rang out at 12:30 this afternoon at the corner of Amara Avenue and Dean Streets as students of St. Ignatius Primary School were out for lunch and a line had already formed at Kickdown Fence. The crowd scattered as Edward Saldano Jr., otherwise known as Scrubby, fought for his life, a fight which ultimately proved futile. Saldano was a notorious gang figure who had been targeted in the past, and aside from the many witnesses of his demise, the entire ordeal was captured on surveillance cameras. Jo Marie Lanza broke down the events leading up to his murder, and here's that story.
It was the peak of the lunch hour in the city when as many as 13 shots rang out off Amara Avenue, sending school children and parents scattering to all corners, fearing for their lives. It was at the intersection of Amara Avenue and Dean Street where 26-year-old Edward Saldano Jr. was cornered by his killer in broad daylight. And from the footage we obtained, Saldano refused to go down without a fight. Just minutes before, he was captured on surveillance video, riding his bike down Amara Avenue when he was approached by an armed individual just before crossing Dean Street. It started off as a verbal confrontation that quickly unfolded into horror before the watchful eyes of residents and the crowd purchasing food at Kickdown Fence. As the shooter withdrew his weapon, Saldano sprung off his bicycle, first attempting to grab the weapon from his hand without success, resulting in jumping onto his back in defense. But things took a grim turn from there, and the shooter never stopped firing until Saldano was down on the pavement bleeding out. Seconds after, a gray taxi van is then seen reversing into frame as the driver steps out attempting to render assistance to Saldano. And with the help of bystanders, they lifted him into the back of the vehicle and hightailed it off the scene to the hospital. Saldano, unfortunately, was pronounced dead minutes later at the KHMH. ASP Stacey Smith provided us with those details.
Police are investigating a shooting incident which led to the death of 26-year-old Edward Saldano of an Amara Avenue address, Belize City. The investigation commenced on Thursday, 5th March at approximately 12:20 p.m. when officers in the Precinct 1 area were alerted to the sounds of shots being fired in the vicinity of Amara Avenue. Officers proceeded to that location where they observed several expended shells and some blood on the scene. The investigators proceeded to the Carl Hushner Memorial Hospital, where they learned that the victim in that shooting incident was Mr. Saldano. What the investigation has so far disclosed is that Mr. Saldano was walking on Dean Street when it is that he was accosted by a male person who is believed to have been known by him, and a dispute arose, and the male person, and this was captured on police camera, was seen retrieving a firearm which he used to fire several shots, which resulted in the demise of Mr. Saldano.
Given Saldano's criminal history, police are still working to establish a motive.
One male person has since been detained in the course of this ongoing investigation. No clear motive has been established as yet.
The last time we interviewed Saldano was back in 2021, not long after his father had been murdered. Saldano was accused of escaping police custody at that time and was wanted for questioning in an unrelated case. He turned himself in, and today we took a look back at that interview that now has a harrowing perspective to it.
But apart from being wanted by police, Saldano and his family are still grieving the gun killing of his father, 55-year-old Edward Saldano Sr., aka Scrub Board. Both men share the same names and nicknames. But at the time of his father's funeral, Edward Jr. couldn't say his final goodbyes while being a fugitive. Is it possible that his killing was linked to something, people, or some enemy of yours, any personal enemy of yours?
I feel like there's more chance my papa forget to me. A chance I come up, I heard he was hard working, man. He not trouble nobody. He go anywhere he do. He help everybody. He help really the affair all the way and on and left me without a father.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
There was another murder last night in Punta Gorda. This time the victim was a teenager. 17-year-old Jimmy Kuss was fatally shot just before 8. 18-year-old Darwin Meraz was also injured in the attack, which happened while the two were walking together on Serra Road. According to ASP Stacey Smith, police had tried to work with Kuss in the past. She gave us more details on this murder.
The officers responded, and upon their arrival, they observed the unresponsive body of Jimmy Kuss, 17 years of age, which exhibited several apparent gunshot wounds. And they also met with 18-year-old Darren Meraz, who also suffered a gunshot injury to the leg. What the ongoing investigation has disclosed so far is that Kuss and Meraz were walking on New Road when they were accosted by a male person who fired several shots, resulted in the demise of Kuss and the injury of Meraz. Police have since identified a person of interest in relation to this incident, and that individual is now being sought. An angle that is being pursued is this incident's connection with a recent murder incident that occurred in Punta Gorda town. However, as more information is learned, that will be disclosed to the media as it becomes necessary to do so.
Were the victims, either the murder victim or the gunshot victim, were they known to police?
I spoke with the officer in command of Punta Gorda, Mr. Hamilton, and he did advise that his office and the community policing section of that formation have undertaken several rounds of mediation with a view to having Mr. Kuss and Mr. Meraz, who are very young in age, to be more productive citizens of society. So they were known to police, and efforts were made to integrate them into productive practices. However, that proved to be a challenge.
And another shooting occurred in Cotton Tree yesterday, but this one involved a police officer. There are at least three sides to every story, and tonight attorney David McCoy is giving Akeem Jones's side. Jones is alleging that police shot him without proper justification. Jones was detained in Roaring Creek following an incident involving his brother, and now the family has retained McCoy, who explained the nature of the case and why he feels his client was detained unjustly.
Circumstances surrounding him being shot is one that I would say that if it is true, it is outrageous because it seems to be extremely unwarrantable. He apparently was at home with his relative, two brothers. One of the brothers is known to police, and apparently this brother was wanted by police. Police was attempting to capture this person, and he ran away. So another brother told one of the police officers that, oh, you're upset that you weren't able to catch my brother. And as a result of that, the police, apparently, it is alleged that the police used force to hit the one that said that you're upset. So the brother that got shot, who is currently detained, said certain things to the police. And as a result of that, he was trying to go home. And he said when he apparently turned around, that's when he got shot. Now, I must say, there is a specific area of law that is at play here, whether it is that the police was justified or it was unjustified. The law at play here is justifiable use of force of harm. Generally speaking, police officers can use force, even cause death to an individual, but the force must be proportionate and be commensurate with the threat that is faced. An unarmed person not reaching for a firearm or not posing a threat to the police or to a member of the society should not be shot. That should not happen. Now he has 48 hours to be here, and he has a bandage around his arm. He says that he's in pain. He has lost a lot of blood. So I don't think that the Roaring Creek police station is the appropriate place for him. I would say that the person who's been done an injustice is the person who is detained. Imagine being shot by police. Allegedly again, right? I say allegedly because there is another side to it, the police side. But the fact is he has been shot, and the allegedly part comes into where it is, whether it is justifiable. But the family, most of the family, they are not incarcerated. They will be able to sleep tonight. But imagine being shot by police, having a gunshot injuries, and having to sleep in a cell block, which is a very terrible place to be in. So the injustice is being done to the individual who has been shot and detained. And if the circumstances which I had explained is in fact true, then it is extremely outrageous, right? So injustice is being done to him, and he will have the opportunity to take legal recourse, separate and apart from whatever internal investigation that the police may launch into this matter.
And today, ASP Smith explained that the PSB is already looking into the matter.
What I can say is that I've been advised that the Professional Standards Branch, having learned of this incident, visited Mr. Jones yesterday with a view to ascertaining what exactly happened. Mr. Jones made certain statements and certain comments, and he was further advised that when he is ready to give a report, the office of the Professional Standards Branch remains open to him for that purpose. Notwithstanding that Mr. Jones had not given a formal report, the officers of the Professional Standards Branch has commenced their investigation in relation to the allegations that we know that are in the media.
Has he been charged for assaulting an officer?
I believe the charge that he has gotten, and he's already gone before the court, is disorderly conduct. What I will say is that Mr. Jones was not the only person that was charged in this incident. Another person who I believe was his brother was also charged, and police are also seeking a third individual as an incident that unfolded prompted police's review of a police surveillance camera, and based on that, the charges that are brought against Mr. Jones are such.
When we come back, we spoke to Minister Julius Espat on MIDH's decision to clear the riverbanks ahead of Laru Beya. And several soldiers disgracefully discharged from the BDF. Was it due to alcohol abuse? These stories and more when we return. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westville Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah, over there, champion security. This is the place to be. What does sign say? Champion Security. Here at Champion Security, we provide quality service. You know why? Such as triology lock, fire alarm, IP camera system, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion Security. Make a go check out where they go on inside of Champion Security. Boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Hanson. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians, and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember, guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where your safe stay is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You wanna rent it? It's not a problem. We got remote gate.
A safer Belize begins with all of us, and the Belize Police Department is taking bold steps to build that future together. The new 2025-2029 Crime Control and Crime Prevention Strategy is transforming policing from the ground up, reforming practices, rebuilding trust, and strengthening accountability. With investments in modern technology, upgraded infrastructure, and smart data-driven tools, officers will respond faster, work smarter, and endeavor to keep communities safer. This plan puts community partnership at its core. It will require more engagement, result in more transparency, and introduce new programs that support our youth, prevent violence, and promote second chances. From fighting gang violence and illegal firearms to confronting emerging threats like cybercrime, the BPD is building stronger, smarter, more specialized teams to protect every Belizean. And with enhanced training and leadership development, our officers are better prepared than ever to serve with integrity and professionalism. The Belize Police Department is rebuilding, reforming, and renewing its commitment to you. Together, we can create a safer, stronger Belize.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Yesterday we told you that the MIDH was stepping up and clearing parts of the riverbank so that viewers could watch the race free of charge. Well, today we spoke with the Minister Julius Espat, who explained that as a ministry, they believe it is their duty to provide that space for everyone. He added that it will also be open to vendors free of cost.
Well, we have absolutely nothing to do with the decision that the venue was changed. But we monitor social media as government, we have to. And we saw that the people of Belize were a bit concerned that it was being put in an area that would not allow them to go in if they didn't have adequate resources. And so we had two areas that is for the government of Belize still after the bridge. One side is 2 acres, the next side is about 3. And so CEO and I and the chief decided that, let's clear it up and give the people an opportunity free of cost to go out there and you have safe parking. If you want to go out there, go sell your stuff at free of cost, go there strong. It just gives an opportunity for people to see the race. I don't want to get into why it was changed or who changed it, because that's not our responsibility. But if we can help them, I think that's our role as government, to listen to the people and find a way to give them the services that we believe they deserve.
He reiterated that the main request is that everyone that takes advantage of these free spaces, keep it clean. And in Belize City, the construction of the new Belcan Bridge is set to begin as early as April. The bidding process is over and the budget went a little over what was initially planned due to the additional infrastructure it will require. When asked, Minister Espat said that whenever the contract is awarded, they will start immediately.
I think the Belcan is about 20 million approximately, because it now includes the temporary vehicular bridge. Originally, when we had put it out to bid the first time, it was only a pedestrian temporary bridge that we were going to put. But after we analyzed along with the city council, we realized that if we only put a pedestrian crossing, it would create serious congestion in the city. So we decided that the temporary bridge would also be vehicular traffic. And so those bids came in already. It now in a financial evaluation and technical evaluation. And so that should be out there. I say you should have the award been given in a week or two time.
So when is it set to start?
Once the contract is awarded, they start immediately.
And tonight, Minister Espat is calling on BTL to pay them, referring to the members of the BCWJ. While BTL has agreed to pay severance, the impasse is with the interest. As we told you, BTL says it will pay 6% starting from November 2025. But the BCWJ says that interest needs to go back to 1994. Here's what Espat told us today.
We know that you champion the people all the time. When it comes to the payment for the severance, the BTL severance.
Pay them. Pay them everything we owe them. It's for them, man. If you made the work for so long and not get paid, you may happy. Exactly. So pay them. Prime Minister has said to pay them. Prime Minister has said in cabinet to pay them.
And you'll remember Espat's remarks the first time we asked him about the SpeedNet acquisition. But now that the matter has been put on a pause, has his stance changed? Well, we asked him.
I have already made my comment, and I would leave it to the people of Belize to decide that. I don't want, as we said, we don't want it to have political interference in it. That was my stance, and I will stick to that.
But despite not wanting to give any further comments on the proposed acquisition, he did stand behind Deputy PM Cordell Hyde's statement, reiterating that it is the people's decision and the people's money. He also said that no matter how they dance around it, it is not a private issue.
This is the people's decision. I said it before. We are here to manage and to spend the people's money. So we have to go back to the people when we spend that money in debates in the House, in presentations, in the budget, to ask if they're fine with it. I think now they're starting to do that. The consultation is ongoing. They're consulting. That's a process that you have to have. And I was not in agreement that any manager of any company that the people own can say that they don't have to consult with the people. That is my objection to what was said.
And as a business owner, your decisions made at the board level, is it influenced by any external factors?
No, you can't compare private business with public. In private, I make the decision because of my money. And if I fail, I fail. Now, if I am a private company that is owned by shareholders, then I have to listen to my shareholders. But in this case, who are the shareholders? All right, so you have to listen to the people. It's basic logic. No matter when I tell you about legally right and morally right and ethically right, you could get wrong legally, but ethically and morally, you can't get it wrong. Let the people own it.
A few weeks ago, we reported on a woman who claimed she was driving to Valley of Peace for work, and before she could even get in the village, she was stopped by men who claimed to be working for a Mexican cartel. She was then allegedly told to ask her family for ransom money. We asked the minister, who is also the area representative of Cayo South, his thoughts. He said that he investigated it, but the community was unaware of any cartel activity.
I followed it up, and nobody from the village saw anything or know anything. And the villagers are questioning if a cartel held you up, how nobody saw it. Why didn't you come to police in Belmopan or Roaring Creek? Why didn't you go to the police in Valley of Peace? Why did you go to the media all the way to Belize City? That's what the people are telling me. And so we haven't heard anything more from it. But why would a cartel in Belize ask you for pesos? I mean, we don't deal with pesos in this country. How the lady get pesos here? So all of that makes everybody wonder.
And today the media asked the BDF commander, Brigadier General Anthony Velasquez, whether they have activated in the north after the killing of a cartel boss. He explained that with the new intake, they are prepared to send more soldiers to the border if they need to.
A bit multi-layered, so we have intelligence-driven operations. So we are monitoring the situation from an intelligence point of view. We have communication with our Mexican counterparts, so anything that's happening over the border, we know instantly. We also have an increase in troops in the northern border under Operation Northern Fortress. Just recently, we received vehicles and we received ATVs to bolster our presence and our patrols in the north. And also there was a building donated at the Corozal Free Zone, which we'll be occupying in the next few days as well. So we are monitoring the situation. We have enough troops to deal with anything that pops up. And if anything big happens, we can reinforce the north with more soldiers. We just had an intake pass out. We're having a new intake coming in this month. So our numbers are increasing, and if anything happens, we can bolster that northern area.
There have also been reports that several soldiers were disgracefully discharged. Those reports suggested that the soldiers may have been abusing alcohol, which led to their dismissal. Commander Velasquez confirmed today that was one of the reasons.
Well, the Belize Defense Force is a disciplined organization, and when members break the rules, they get either get punished administratively, either they are punished and returned back to the rank, or if what they committed was grave enough, they get discharged. And discharging with disgrace means that they get no benefits and they're not allowed to re-listen to the PDF whatsoever.
We understand that part of their discharge has to do with alcohol abuse. How true is this?
Well, being discharged with disgrace encompasses many different charges, different actions that they committed. Alcohol abuse is probably one of them, definitely. This is Women's Month, so these allegations that were happening in the past constantly are one of them, reasons why people will get discharged. Soldiers will get discharged for various reasons, for failing to show up on a duty or causing the loss of a life or the loss of a weapon. So there are various reasons why a soldier will get discharged, including alcohol.
Belize's diplomatic relations with Cuba date back to the mid-90s, but our friendly relations with the island nation go back to the 70s, when President Fidel Castro was one of the first to pledge support for Belize's fight for independence. But now those long, friendly relations are under strain like never before, and that's because the United States is pursuing an aggressive diplomatic agenda to isolate Cuba and force the smaller nations of the Americas to rethink their relations with Cuba. 7 News has received multiple credible reports that the U.S. State Department is pressuring Belize to reduce its relations with Cuba, and if not, well, face penalties. The lobbying campaign may have gained momentum in St. Kitts and Nevis recently, when the recent CARICOM Heads of Government meeting was held. It included a meeting between the heads and the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. At that meeting, Belize's Prime Minister is reported to have been one of the first to speak up for Cuba, which is facing a growing humanitarian crisis. We asked the PM about it today.
Well, we will always have a good relationship with the people of Cuba, but I think they have been doing their wrongs in the entire region. They've been going to every country, expressing their concerns, and as a sovereign nation, we listen to them, and then at the end of the day, we think we do what we believe is in the best interest of Belize.
Have there been any specific threats to officials?
I don't think I can comment more than just that, because I think the discussions that we have between two countries, it's supposed to be private and confidential, and I'm allowed only to be able to share that with the cabinet.
And we see that countries are cancelling the medical brigades. Will Belize be taking this similar action?
Well, we're looking to see what we can do to be able to keep our doctors here. There are presently there are about over 100 of them in the Cuban brigade, of which at least 45 of them are doctors. And as you all know, they have served us well. They serve us, especially in the rural areas where many of our Belizean doctors don't want to go. So we want to try to come up with a program to ensure that they could stay here and to be able to provide the services that our people need and they deserve.
When we return, you'll hear what the department has to say about former Constable Luana Gillett's plight as she fights for justice. And the students of Our Lady of Fatima RC School gets a new building courtesy of GOB. These stories and more. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Champion security, champion security, champion security. Yeah. Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah, over there, champion security. This is the place to be. What does sign say? Champion Security. Here at Champion Security, we provide quality service. You know why? Such as triology lock, fire alarm, IP camera system, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion Security. Make a go check out what they go on inside of Champion Security. And boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Handsome. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians, and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember, guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where your safe stay is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You want to rent it? That's not a problem. We got remote gate.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Rotavirus is a leading cause of severe watery diarrhea and vomiting in young children. It can lead to dangerous dehydration and hospital visits. The good news? The rotavirus vaccine is now available countrywide. It is given in drops at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child. Visit your nearest health clinic today.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Yesterday, we brought you the plight of Luana Gillett, who served in the police department for 10 years until she was sexually assaulted 2 years ago. Though she has been trying to fight her case, she has yet to get justice. And she told us that she hadn't even gotten support from the department she served. Today, we asked Staff Officer ASP Stacey Smith about it.
I would firstly like to empathize with the frustration of Ms. Gillett. I'm very familiar with Ms. Gillett, and also place on record that there is no desire on the department's part, or there has been no attempt on the department's part to frustrate the course of having Ms. Gillett's matter being duly adjudicated. As you have stated, insofar as it relates to the department, when the matter was known, Mr. Dawson was arraigned before a tribunal. He went through the tribunal process, at the end of which he was convicted and his dismissal was recommended. Mr. Dawson appealed that dismissal, and the legal office of the department reviewed the notes of evidence and found that the decision of the adjudicator was sound in law, and the recommendation for his dismissal was upheld. Mr. Dawson further appealed to the Belize Advisory Council, and similarly, the adjudicators of that council found that the tribunal that was held was sound and his conviction was safe. As it relates to the statements made by Ms. Gillett in terms of the adjournments, I can confirm that indeed there were adjournments, but as you would know, the ultimate decision as it relates to the granting of adjournment lies in the purview of the court. I can also say that I've been advised by the officers attached to the prosecution branch in that location that the matter had started as back in July of 2026. However, at that time, Ms. Gillett indicated that counsel for the defendant was someone who she had had discussions with pertaining to the case. So she was of the view that he was privy to information which may be used against her. It was a sound objection, and the court ultimately sided with recusal of the defense counsel in that case, and that too caused delay and another adjournment because Mr. Dawson had to seek another attorney. So, as I said, certainly in matters of this type, I know that victims are not able to get the extent of healing that they need until the matter is fully adjudicated. And we are cognizant of that, and we do our very best as it relates to all matters of these nature to ensure that they are adjudicated timely and that they are given the attention that is needed.
We also reached out to the Compol via text yesterday. He answered after news time and said, quote, "We fully acknowledge the frustration experienced by victims when judicial processes extend beyond anticipated timelines. However, the pace at which a case progresses through the courts is not within the purview of the police department. Court scheduling, adjournments, and legal arguments are matters reserved for the Belize judiciary and the legal representatives involved. Consequently, it is inaccurate to suggest that the police possesses the authority to either delay or expedite a matter once it is before the court." End quote. Today, the police department held an event for the women in its rank. It was called Uniting Women in Law Enforcement, where several female police officers received awards for their hard work. The organizer's senior superintendent, Deanne Augustine, told us more.
As you know, we have Women's Month. We started with the 1st of March with church service. This event here today, this symposium, it will be covering important topics that we as women believe is very important for us for our growth. We have career development, we have about trauma, cancer. You know, these are topics that we do need, and these topics are only not being heard of today. This is just an opportunity to more emphasize these topics, how important they are for our women. We also took this opportunity here to award some of our females. In Belize district alone, we awarded 22 females, and it has to do with community service, the amount of arrests, the years of service, what do they give back, how do they contribute to the enhancement of our police department.
And the commander of the BDF also gave remarks at the event. However, 6 years ago, the force was stained by numerous allegations of sexual assault against female officers. Velasquez explained that they have undergone measures to drastically reduce those incidents.
The force was stained or marred by reports of abuse within training, neglecting the concerns of its women. How would you describe it for the state of those issues currently, and what has been done to effectively address those?
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to address the problem, right? I like to describe it as a wicked problem. It's a problem that is embedded in the society and will not go away overnight. And just as a part of the society, the Police Defense Force reflects that. We have had issues, and we may continue to have issues, but I can reassure the people of Belize that the issues are very minimized at this point in time, right? We have adopted the SHARP policy, where we empower women, especially, to report and to have these cases come up. They either report it, they go through the civil police if they wish, or they do an anonymous type of reporting, where perpetrators are dealt with at any which way you can think about it. So the policy works. I have seen it firsthand how it works. I've been participating in the administrative process of implementing the SHARP policy, and I can guarantee at today's day that the situation is completely different in the Belize Defense Force for women. I'm not saying that the problem has been eliminated completely. There's a completely different culture in the Belize Defense Force, how we treat our women.
And on Tuesday, the BDF was in Corozal at Centro Escolar Mexico Junior College. They signed an MOU which will hopefully lead to more students from the north enlisting in the force. Commander Velasquez told us more about the BDF's plan.
We had a ceremony just recently, a couple of days ago, at the Centro Escolar Mexico Junior College, where we have an MOU we signed with them for a partnership, where the BDF would benefit by getting scholarships from them, and they will benefit by getting the benefit of our experienced people with their young students. And also, it's a recruiting tool for us to bring more people from the northern Belize into the Belize Defense Force, right? So it's a win-win situation, symbiotic relationship. But added to that, we have also been in consultation and talks with UB for similar type of consultation and agreements, where we will have our an officer training corps, where scholarships will be given to Belizeans to attend UB and then after join the Belize Defense Force as officers. We also have a very good relationship with Galen University and through similar initiatives. At the end of the day, within the next 2 years or a little bit more, the Belize Defense Force wants to open its own Belize Military Academy, where we will train our own officers in Belize. And those are all the steps taken towards that end goal.
And in other news, by the end of the year, Belize is expected to hit the 30 by 30 target for our marine protected areas system. This means conserving up to 30% of our ocean space, and through networking events like EcoLens, which provides an opportunity to exchange information between both public and private conservation partners, we should be able to achieve so much more in terms of conservation of our natural resources. Jo Marie Lanza attended the EcoLens Summit today, and here's what she gathered at the event. And we apologize for that break in our technical aspect of that story. We will be reviewing that and bringing it back again for you later on. Our Lady of Fatima RC School in Roaring Creek Village has received a new building that is set to serve 211 students. The two-story building includes 7 classrooms and bathrooms. The building will also serve as a hurricane shelter. Jaleesa Roberts attended the inauguration and files this report.
Students at Our Lady of Fatima RC School will now have a safer and more comfortable space to learn. Earlier today, officials gathered for the inauguration of a new school building donated by the government through the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing. Minister of Infrastructure Development and Housing, Julissa Spat, noted that projects like these were long planned but only became possible once the government had access to the necessary resources.
These are projects that we have had in mind for quite some time. But as you are aware, once you're in opposition, which I was in 2 terms, the resources just aren't there. Yeah. But it's a promise that we made, and it's a good feeling to know that we have been able to keep our promise.
And with that promise, Espat believes that improving school environments is critical for students to succeed.
We have to invest more in our children. The one in Kamalote is worse than this one, where they had bats and rats. And in fact, we've found in some of the schools that some of the roofing is of asbestos. So we're trying to upgrade and take it to a level. This is the future. You know that. We have to invest in our children. And as I said in my speech, it is hard for our children to be able to receive information when the environment is not conducive to that.
And in that same light, Prime Minister John Briceño says education remains one of the government's highest priorities.
From the beginning, we've been saying that we have to deal with the social issues, and education is a high priority of our government. Education continues to have almost 25% of the budget. And when we can be able to come and build a building of this quality and a building that can also serve dual purposes, not only as a classroom, but also as a hurricane shelter. Yeah, it gives you that feeling of accomplishment.
The building can accommodate up to 200 students and was designed not only to serve as classrooms, but as a hurricane shelter. This may be the first of its kind in the Cayo South constituency, but not the last, as discussions are already underway for another.
We will be repeating this exact same design in Camalote. It is in the budget. We had a budget consultation with Cabinet this week, and it was approved. And so it's just a matter of going through the process in the House. And the design is set already, and then we'll put it out to.
These buildings cost approximately $1.5 million for 7,500 square feet, which brings this building to about $200 per square foot, inclusive of furniture. Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
Another school building is set to be next to be built in Camalote Village. And after lobbying year after year for his ministry, MIDH has finally received a budget increase based on what the minister says he saw this past Tuesday. A major highlight of this ministry has been the famous starter homes that have provided Belizeans with brand new houses, which only having to pay a 25% of its cost. So that increase is to build more homes, but also for the road work leading to these places.
It was raised from 5 million to 8 million. So we got 3 million more, and then a separate 2 million was given to us for infrastructure for housing. What has happened is that with the 5 million, we were stretching it thin because we were not only building the homes, but we were also doing roads reaching the homes. And so now an extra 2 million was given to us. So wherever we have a house that's in a really, in an area that hasn't been developed, we have the ability now. The John Smith Road, a $2 million budget was given to be able to do infrastructure there in the housing development that they have. They have a housing development there that the Minister Cartel had done for about, I think, 1,000 lots. And so $2 million was also allocated in the budget for us to be able to go in and do some work there. So for the first time after 5 years of lobbying, complaining, beating, we got $3 million, 5 million more. It's 3 million for the houses and 2 million for infrastructure for the houses.
The minister explained that they have several factors to consider when they will decide what areas to target first.
So the budget is ready. The first meeting will be between the CEO, myself, the chief, and the housing team led by Marissa to look at what houses have been approved already, meaning recipients that have been approved. Because we have a long list. And what we are trying to do is to look at the houses that have lots that have easier access. Because all of them have a need. So we know that everybody that has been approved has a need. So now we're looking at, is your house easier for us to reach? And that would be the priority. Apart from emergencies, because we have also been helping people where the houses have been burnt down or somebody that's incapacitated, or there are a couple areas that are not strict. Yeah. And so that meeting will be held right after the budget. So I'd say in the ending of this month, and then we have a list of how many we can do. And what the CEO and the chief normally do is that they phase it out, because we don't have enough contractors to be able to do everything at the same time. Remember, these are real low-cost housing, and the contractors are not making a lot of money. So we have to accommodate them and try to find a way. Maybe if it's 2 in an area, they can get a little bit more.
The entire plan will be revealed during the budget reading. And we see some transformation in their starter homes by adding extensions. When we asked the minister how he feels about this, he said that this was the purpose of the starter homes, to give people a start, and if they wish, they could do the rest.
To those transformation videos.
Smile from ears to ears. It just makes you proud. Remember what we said, it's a starter home. People beat it up and say, oh, no, this kind of house is too big, but it's a starter home. It gives you the ability to grow from there. The States, you got this thing when they call tiny homes, where everybody, they sell their mansions or go in a tiny homes. Well, if they can do it, and they're comfortable and appreciative of that, This is what we are doing. We are not building a middle-class house. We are not giving you a luxury house. It is government subsidizing 75% of the cost for you to have a start in life.
MIDH has handed over an estimated 800 starter homes since the initiative began in December of 2021. And tonight, Julius Espat is responding to Anthony Marla's "politics is difficult" statement, except he's saying that it is more about how you handle it. He expressed what he's learned after 4 terms.
Politics stressful? Well, anything we are doing in our life stressful. It is how you handle it. I might get up one day and say, I don't really want to run again. And then I go to the office and everybody say, what? You crazy? And I come to Roaring Creek and I finish my school and I say, what? You can't go nowhere. A politician depends on the people that supports him. First, you have to consult with your family, of course. Politics takes away a lot from your private life. It puts lots of stress on you, no doubt. But it's not a problem. It is an honor because we are blessed. And it's true what I think Jules said it. It's true. We are blessed. We are treated spectacularly. We get food allowance, we get phone allowance, we get transport allowance, we get a salary that is more than most. So we have to be grateful and thankful and every day put in the work so that the people are happy that what you're being paid is worth it for them. That's how I see it. Now, if you can't handle it and all the payment and you don't like it and you want to go home, well, that's cool too. What Mr. Mala said, I can understand. I mean, sometimes, but not in politics, in everything in life. Sometimes you got some days where it's just not correct. You understand me? In your business, when you have the payroll and you overdraft it all the way up, that's not a correct day. Yeah. You understand me? And then there are other days that is awesome. All I can say in Cayo South, 4 terms. Whenever I am depressed, I come back to Cayo South. That's chairman of Roaring Creek. Whenever I feel depressed, if I quarrel with my boss or I got problems in the ministry or somebody they talk about you or right boy, because we're human beings, and I feel the distress coming on, I just come here in Cayo South and I get serious energy back again.
Espat has said that as far as he knows, he will not be leaving politics right now. Finally tonight, one scratch and win player is $15,000 richer. We spoke to her today about her plans for the money.
So I may feel nervous and feel real even up to now till I have the money in my hand. And where I want to spend the money from, I did finish my house, so this one cover all the furniture is what I need for put inside. My furniture is what I need, and I'm gonna put stuff like just to have my budget, what I could buy now and afterwards. So when I find this out this afternoon, 12:30, I tell myself this is one good miracle for me. Because I don't have to stress this or those for those put in on my house and I could just move in. So I buy it from Frantico in Belmopan. First I buy one $3 scratch and it turns out that I win $10. So I make up my mind and say, make I just go flip this $10 back over. So I end up to get 4 tickets because I had to put one additional $2 more because of $3, right? And then I did scratch, and I see this $15 back, and I tell myself, what? By mind, and I tell my mama, I just won $15,000. And even she never believed. I don't believe until I get a check in my hand.
Was this your first time playing scratch?
Second time.
And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indira Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a great night. Join Miriam Abdul-Kawi here tomorrow, and I'll be seeing you back on Monday. So until then, be safe. That should be Tuesday. Be safe and have a great weekend.